All right, guys, introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about your working relationship.
I'm DJ Jenkins, one of the partners here at Courthouse Custom.
I'm Jason Strittenberger, the other partner at Courthouse Custom. Me and DJ have been friends since middle school, went to school together, middle school and high school, and always hung out, skateboarded together, listened to the same kind of music, just had a lot of things in common. We even went on our senior trip after high school together, and have always just remained friends and close through the years.
We've got along well, as with anybody that's got a lasting relationship. You know, we have our spats and we fight, and you know, we're more like brothers to an extent. We roll with the punches and get over it and move on.
Yeah.
You know, we always got each other's back. If one of us can't do it, then the other one can. I think that's one of our strengths in doing something like this, and in competition or in business, that we really are nothing without each other. You know, we're not a five-man crew shop. We're just two dudes that are really close and really work good together.
All right, tell me about your history in the industry and your experience with building custom motorcycles.
Well, it all started in late 2004, 2005. I decided that I was a custom bike builder and I was going to build myself a chopper. So I had no tools, nothing. I didn't have a garage. Jason had a welder, grinder, you know, things like that. So he offered up his garage to let me build a bike in. Shortly after that, he got the bug up his ass. He was going to build a custom bike. So he built a panhead bobber. I had a chopper, he had a bobber, you know, similar styles but a little different.
That kind of grew. We both finished those two bikes and just realized how much of a love we had for building bikes and passion for it. So we talked about it for a while, and then in 2006 we both quit our jobs. We both had good long-term jobs and
Good paying jobs.
yeah, insurance and all that good stuff. But quit those and started our shop. Got our first location across town in 2006. We were there for 4 years. And we moved into our new shop here about 4 years ago.
We had nothing when we started. We had no experience other than the two bikes we built. We had no tools other than the, you know, air compressor and the piss ass welder that Strit had at his house. Over the years, you know, we have started accumulating more tools, learning experience, you know, trial and error. You know, built the business for many years, struggling, getting out to shows, getting to different events, trying to get our name out there and, you know, connect with other shops and other people with similar interests. And in 2010, we had an opportunity come up where this current building we're in come up for rent. And at that point, I would say we would both agree that it was either sink or swim. We had struggled. The downturn in the economy took a real toll on us personally and our business. But we decided to move in here, and it created a great opportunity, and it has grown our shop to being a lot more than we ever dreamed possible.
What style of builds is CHC best known for?
I'd say we're definitely old school. We build a lot of bobbers, a lot of old school choppers. We're definitely not limited to that style of bike. If you look at our resume of motorcycles, we definitely have some newer school builds, some Pro Street style stuff, wide tire stuff, which we're not super fond of. It's not really what we're into. We tend to build a lot of, you know, vintage stuff, old shovel heads, old Sportsters, Triumph motors, Norton, panheads, you know, things of that nature, just stuff you don't see on an everyday basis.
And we try to build as many parts for the bike we can. We build our own handlebars, pegs, fenders, oil tanks, battery boxes, pretty much as we can. But we like to help out other shops, and there's other shops that make things that, you know, we can use in our builds and help them out. So
yeah, it's definitely stuff we could make. You know, we've got a frame jig. We could knock out some hardtails for Sportsters, but You know, when you got guys like Pat at Lead Sled that have perfected the art of making a weld-on hardtail, you go to him. He's a go-to guy, and we try to support other shops like us. You know, we use Sinners and Saints and Darren from Liquid Illusions for paint. We outsource our seats because we like to help other people that help us. You know, we could easily train ourselves to do everything, but it's just not really how we work. And if there's any shops that tell you they do everything in-house, they are completely full of shit. You can do most of it in-house, but I highly doubt there's any shops that do their own powder coating, that do their own custom engraving. You know, there's a lot of guys that do a lot of stuff, but you know, a lot of guys will outsource motor work, things like that. But we really take pride in throwing bones to other shops like us and bringing them business.
We have our own line of parts we do make and sell online all over the country. We use some of those on builds. We do a lot of one-off builds where we do custom parts that we don't have out there for everyone to buy, that we do one-off stuff.
We've become known for our style, being old school. We've been featured in Cycle Source magazine, Ironworks magazine, the Horse magazine, as well as many other local publications and things of that nature. We've also been featured on blogs like Chop Call and Barnett's Harley Davidson. It's always an honor to be featured in things like that and have people taking a real genuine interest in what we do and like our style.
Is there anyone you would like to compete against and stomp in this competition?
We had hesitated. We're not, guys to just sit and call out people and things like that. We almost didn't bring this up, but there is a shop called TC Bros, if you really want to call them a shop, that has stolen a couple ideas from us, and we rubbed us pretty wrong. They're an Ohio shop. Most of us dudes in Ohio all stick together. We're all friends. We all feed off each other. But they took it upon themselves to steal some of our ideas. In 2009, October of 2009, we had a bike featured in Cycle Source. This is about a year after the bike was complete, called the Glory Hole. You can see it's got a signature gas tank, 3 holes through the middle, not something you see everywhere, and it's also got our airbag seat set up on it. That bike won awards at the Easy Rider Bike Show, was featured in some other magazines, and was really one of our builds that people still ask about today, just because we sold it and it's no longer around. But people are always coming up to shows, hey, where's the Glory Hole bike? I love that bike. So, you fast forward to 2013, you got the November, September issue of the Horse magazine. Lo and behold, you've got TC Bros with a gas tank just like the Glory Hole and an airbag seat setup just like the Glory Hole.
Which they now make.
Which they now produce and manufacture. We had also in Cycle Source, that same issue, a new product release for an airbag seat setup. We're really not bitter usually, but when you've got another shop from Ohio that blatantly, in my eyes, stole our ideas, it kind of rubs you a wrong way. It's way more than just a big coincidence. There's no way that they had the same idea as we did.
Not to say that we're the first people that ever had that idea.
No, by no means. I mean, but
it's a pretty big coincidence.
It sure is.
About the only other shop we could think of that we'd really like to maybe compete against is Lead Sled Customs. They're another Ohio shop, and we're actually good buddies with them. We don't have a beef with them. We respect and admire pretty much all of Pat's builds and everything they do. So if we're going to compete against someone, we'd want to compete against one of the best. And
we'd be honored to compete against Pat. No matter who we're up against, we totally believe that we are great for this competition. We have the camaraderie between us two. We have the tools. One thing is for sure, you're not going to see Courthouse Custom building a spaceship or a snowmobile. It's going to be a strictly motorcycle, two-wheeled, go fast, look good machine that really just is the epitome of what a bike build should be, especially in a competition like this.
What potential challenges do you foresee in trying to build a bike in 5 to 6 weeks?
Well, there's a ton of different things that could arise in trying to put together and build a custom bike in 5 to 6 weeks. You just never know what's going to happen, and I think we're up for the challenge. One of the biggest things is, we have to run a business. This pays our bills, and keeping both going, keeping the business going, and producing a badass bike in 5 to 6 weeks. It's going to be tough, but we're up for the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to working under deadlines. We do powder coating for industrial companies that say, hey, here's these parts, I need them by this date. We've got customer bikes that guys are like, hey, I got a ride, I got to be on next week. Can you get my service done and all this work done by then? Another thing, every year since probably 07, we've always tried to get a bike done for the Easy Rider show in Columbus. There is no other place where you can really compete against the best of the best. And the Easy Rider show is definitely a place where you get a lot of different builders, a lot of different styles, and every year it comes down to, it seems like the day of the trip to Columbus that we're bolting shit on in the trailer, but by God, when that time comes and the show is on, the bike is done, the bike is running, the bike is ready to go, and I really think that we could knock it out of the park and challenge ourselves, with a 5 to 6 week build. In the end, in closing here, I think one thing you're not going to get a bunch of shit out of us. I'm a pretty opinionated person myself. Some people might consider me an asshole. I'm sure this guy thinks I'm an asshole a lot of times.
I'm a little more laid back.
We get along. You never know what you're going to get around here. You might get Juki running around in his shorty shorts. You might get our local photographer in here shooting a half-naked chick on a bike. Somebody might cut a finger off, which has actually happened. You really just never know what you're going to get around here, which kind of brings me to something I wondered. I know that's offensive on the Discovery Channel. It would get blurred out, but would that get blurred out on Discovery Channel? I can guarantee I'm going to find out if we get picked. We are totally honored, very humbled to have been approached at something like this. It's nothing we've ever seeked out. All we've ever wanted to do was, what's in our soul and our heart, building this shop and working in this shop day to day and trying to make a living and help support our families. But one thing's for sure, if we get picked for this, we will bring it. Entertainment value, badass custom bike, the total package. You will not be disappointed with what we've got to say. So, thank you very much.